Welcome back to another segment of Buckingham Business Review. I'm Bernie Wolford, your host. Once again, our video magazine is about the intersection of strategy, tactics, and people. We've been having a absolutely wonderful conversation with my guest, Solange Warner, president and founder of Ashton International. In our last segment, we talked about foreign companies wanting to come to the States and do business. Now we're going to do the converse, Solange. We're going to talk about a U.S. company who can't ignore Europe, or they can't ignore South America or the Far East. They know to support their growth, they want to develop markets and sell their products or services into foreign locations. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know which countries would work best. Tell us a little bit about how they would get started and perhaps use your services to identify where to go and how to best launch that project.
Okay. Well, this is one of my favorite topics because obviously I have several clients here locally, and also through the World Chamber of Commerce I can see how many local businesses are interested today to see other options due to the economy here in the United States. So we have a tremendous amount of momentum happening right now through the WCC and also other areas of the community interested in learning about this international market. So when they come to Ashton International, again, the first thing we do is do a market study and let them know which areas will be more profitable for them based on their products. I'm going to give you some examples, not going into much details with my clients, but I'm working with telecommunications company that they are interested in selling a product that you can sell to different clients overseas with, it could be defense, the military, could be government entities, also could be broadcasting companies overseas. So it is a very interesting product to sell. And it's very difficult to penetrate in these markets because any relationship that you may have with government entities, it has to really be a long-lasting relationship, you know, if you have developed for years and years. So it has been somehow difficult for this local company to penetrate this international markets, but we have been able to really create some connections, some introductions where they have actual meetings with some of the government entities such as Ministry of Defense of several countries in Latin America and so on, and also in Europe. Now, the difficulty for these companies, although they have a great infrastructure, they have been selling their products overseas for several years, but why is so difficult for them to really sell this product to these target clients? Again, it goes to the opposite of what we talk about here. Marketing and being able to sell your product and have a good quality is important here in the United States. I can
sort of buy my visibility, but if I have enough dollars, yes.
Exactly, exactly. You have touched on a very important point. Over there, marketing is not as important as it will be here in the United States. What you really need to have is just the local connections that will be able to develop the key relationships that you will have with this client. So it is imperative for a local business to have some sort of representation overseas, whether it's through a consulting firm or again some representation. That is a vital aspect of it, because not only once, even when you have an introduction, when you are in front of a client and selling your product that there may be a very good product, there's a different culture, a different way to sell products over there. If you talk about quality and even price, it could be an attractive thing. Now, they do have a process of viewing business. If they have really tested you in different ways, such as, okay, you are somebody that brings a good quality product for me, but what could I trust you? What kind of relationship we're going to have and talking about business? And that's, I think, that many times American business are not able to really penetrate these markets overseas is because they really don't give the importance to the relationship that you can create with your clients. So it is a little bit of the, you know, what you talk about, like perhaps in Japan, you really have to go and have all these dinners with your clients before.
Heard that,
yes, you know, even it is important, you know, I have a client of mine that had this bad experience that she was in front of a possible client in Japan, but she was wearing red. And red is a color that you don't wear in business in Japan. So,
Did not know.
Exactly. So you really need to have all this local knowledge of the local culture per
Very
se,
good.
just to be able to really understand how you can gain their trust and therefore their business.
Very good. Once again, the time flies by on Buckingham Business Review, but great input, great tips. Throughout a couple of our segments, Solange has mentioned WCC, the World Chamber of Commerce, and in our fourth and final segment with Solange, we're going to take a deep dive into this very impressive organization. So this is your host, Bernie Wolford. Please join us again very soon on another episode of Buckingham Business Review.